Is there actually a place for herbal medicine in the health space? In quote, herbal medicine.
Actually, herbal medicine is not totally bad. But the issue we have with herbal medications is when we don't know their dosage and concentration. So we are worried about kidney failure and kidney failure and liver damage.
Hello, people, and welcome to your favorite chat decks. Let's talk. Like I'll always tell you, the most informative, educative, and not less entertaining podcast. I am John Okoyo, your favorite host, and whenever you see me here, you know it's about social life. I've never been in the studio alone. You guys already know. I bring people that add value to you. So whenever you see me here, you quickly grab your popcorn, a glass of juice, and then stick to the screen and listen to what will change you forever. All right, today I'm in the studio, not alone. I'm with a fantastic lady. She's unique, but she confuses me sometimes with her name. She says she's Phoebe Anuyechi. She's Phoebe. Phoebe, please. Are you Phoebe or you are Uyechi?
I'm both Phoebe and Onyechi.
Can you explain the logic behind this, your name?
Okay, so Onyechi is my native name.
All right.
And Phoebe is my English name.
What is in your certificate? Aspa?
Daniel Onyechi Phoebe.
So you're using two names of yours?
Yeah, it's my name. Like your last name, first name, and middle name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Phoebe, you're welcome.
Thank you.
To the podcast.
Thank you.
By the way, she will be co-hosting with me today because today I brought you guys something very spectacular. Very spectacular. She's unique. She's Dr. Mrs. Imomoemi Thompson. Am I correct, Imomoemi?
No, you tried. You tried. At least the fact that you can even pronounce it one way, I'll give you a thumbs up because it's not easy to pronounce my name. Thank you very much.
Okay, welcome back to the podcast. Ma, please, can you just quickly just tell us about yourself aside your name? That's the only thing the audience and viewer know right now about you.
Okay. I actually call myself the lady with many caps. Okay. So I'll just see the ones I can drop. Okay. Because the caps don't end, because I think I'm a multi-potential person. At each point in time, new ideas or new things or new caps continue unveil like that. Yeah. So basically, I'm a medical laboratory scientist by profession, but PhD. So that's why they call me Dr. Imomoemi Thompson, not a medical doctor, but PhD in terms of medical laboratory science. Okay. I'm also a wellness and health advocate. I'm passionate about the career of young people. So currently, I just branched into a new arm, which is a career coach for young medical laboratory scientists, those that want to break out from the normal hospital clinical job roles that medical laboratory scientists do. Okay. So based on my years of experience, because I've worked for, I think this should be about 20 years post-graduation, if I'm not mistaken. Wow.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So based on it, I've been able to acquire some experience, and I realized that when it comes to core clinical personnel, we are not conversant with job roles outside the hospital setting. And the world we are in, the present dispensation, you find out that if you're not careful, most medical personnel now are even complaining about salaries. Because in quotes, once your child is a medical personnel, there's this job security. Yeah. So that's what better this vision of becoming a career coach for young medical laboratory scientists, so that they can look beyond the bench role to more opportunities that will be more fulfilling. It's not like the clinical role is not fulfilling, but everybody must not work in the hospital. Yes, so that's just one. And I'm also a quality assurance consultant, an infection control specialist. I'm a certified safety specialist. So that's why I say I'm multi-potential, and that's one of the reasons why I had to become a career coach, because yes, I'm a medical laboratory scientist basically, but I've been able to branch out public health, wellness, advocacy. So I believe that others can also do so. Yes, so that's a son. Let me just cut it there.
Wow.
And not forgetting, I'm a mother, a wife. I have two amazing boys. I have two boys. And that's basically it.
Okay. All right. Let me ask one more question. This is just something before I introduce the topic to the audience also. You see, some persons believe that once you are working in the hospital, you are called a doctor. So you telling us that you are a medical laboratory scientist means that it's not everybody that works in the hospital that are doctors, right?
Yes. That one is it is. In the hospital, you just have your doctors, but you have a lot of people that work behind the scenes to ensure that the patients get the best outcome. We're all aware, our nurses. We just celebrated Nurses Week. I think it's about 3 weeks back. We celebrated our nurses, our beautiful heroes, because what nurses go through, not everybody can be a nurse. It takes patience. And, we have different professions. We have dental hygienists. We have our pharmacists. So everybody in the hospital, I think just a few percentage people that work in the hospital are actually clinicians, basically.
Okay.
So yes. So
okay. All right. So viewers, you guys have heard. Not everybody where you see where we are maybe blue or something. Where they tell you that they want to hospital, maybe doctor. Okay. So today, we'll be talking about, and viewers too, we'll be talking about modern day diet and lifestyle, how they are affecting our health. That is, let me bring it down so that others that are not too good with English can understand. So what we want to talk about today, we say the food now, modern day diet, the kind of food where they chop now. For instance, now that the other day I went to a store, a mini store, I saw garri with sugar.
Now in a sachet,
yeah, and milk.
3 in 1.
Yeah, this is something that we do before. We just carry garri from bucket farm, pour inside plates, put sugar, or we put salt. Who care about sugar? We use salt and we take our garri and we go away. A lot of things have changed. Before now, people go to even pepper. Before now, people just enter their farm, pluck pepper, pound it.
Yeah.
You can't pound. If you are pounding pepper now, people would think you are
suffering.
You are suffering.
True.
People would think you are suffering. So we want to talk about now. What we want to discuss now? How this thing they take affect us? Abi they do good give us? Abi they do bad? Are we really benefiting? Now something where they enhance our health. When I say enhance, now something where they help our body strong. Well. Abi now something where they bring our body down. Because some of us we feel say that time, who they chop like this, we they strong, who they work out well, our leg no they shake, we know they get BP, we know they get this one, we know they get that one. So now you have to listen to Dr. Mrs. Thompson and get to understand some things that maybe you have been struggling to understand. All right, welcome once again.
Thank you very much.
And I'll ask the first question before she asks. All right, so when we say modern day diet or modern diet and lifestyle, was there something, I don't know, let me use the word traditional food in terms of modern diet. Was there anything or is there anything as traditional food? When we say traditional food or modern, what makes it modern?
Modern.
Do you know the funny thing about this modern and traditional diets? We are talking about modern day diets and traditional diets. Basically, in the Western world, what we call a traditional day diet is actually more expensive, which is the organic food. That's the food that we farm with organically, without fertilizers, without all these additives, without all these pesticides and herbicides. So basically what we've been doing previously, now we have now imbibed the Western society of being in a fast pace. We just want to be fast. Everybody wants to get things done fast. Because of that, we now want to imbibe what those in the Western country are actually paying more to get. So calling it a modern day diet is actually a misnomer. It shouldn't actually be the modern day diet, because if we are borrowing a leaf from those in the Western society, which were the ones that we imbibe this society of this idea of processed meals, fast meals, if you are borrowing a leaf from them, This in quotes traditional meal traditional diet we are calling the old school is actually what the elites there eat. Because to be able to get those kind of things is more difficult, is more expensive. Because for you to be able to farm or produce things organically, one, it takes more time. It takes, because you see the normal agri fowl that they rear, agri chicken. In how many months they want it to come out fast? They give them things so that it will increase their production. Maybe if it's egg, you give them things to increase their egg production. So basically, you find out that the tradition, what we call traditional in Nigeria, is, will I say, is our inferiority complex when it comes to do with the black and white skin color. So we thought that what the white people, in quotes, what those abroad will look at and say, if you go to their supermarket, you see this in everywhere. And unconsciously, we start imbibing that lifestyle. And that lifestyle we're imbibing was the lifestyle of the poor people, is the lifestyle of the people that are not even elite, the poor people that cannot even afford the lifestyle we have here at our beck and call. What we can, the average person out of Nigeria cannot afford such organic products, cannot afford such kind of meals because of the process, the time, the energy, the money it takes to process such things and get them. So it's more like we switched. We took what the elites are taking. We now saw what we had easier in Nigeria. We kept it aside. And we now took what, because of lack of, let's say, finances and the rest and things like, to get the organic products which we have here is expensive. There, we now imbibe thoughts that are, because most times when we travel, that's what you see. We see more of the fast food. We see how many people have access to the real elites when we travel out of the country. Even when our elites travel, how many of them really have access to maybe those that know what is happening, how many of them? So you mingle with the everyday person. So at the end, we imbibe wrong. So for me, what we call modern day diets is just our mindset. Because the modern day diets we are imbibing is actually what should have been kept aside and maintaining what we already have, which is the traditional diets.
Okay. So you just helped us break down the modern diet. So since the topic is modern diet and lifestyle, so what exactly is lifestyle?
For me, lifestyle has to do simple sociology, or I say social studies. Lifestyle is a way of life of a people. So how do this set of people live their lives? And, lifestyle cuts across so many aspects. So we have the social lifestyle, we have the, let's say, the family lifestyle, we have even your environment, so it cuts across every area of your life. So how do you live these various facets of your life? That's why you see that certain things people will do, they'll say, it's my family way. I imbibe this culture for my family. So for me, my understanding of lifestyle has to do with how a set of persons or a set of people live their lives. So most times we end up imbibing other people's lifestyle just because we want to fit in or want to be accepted into that, in quote, what we perceive of their lifestyle. So what the average Black that was traveling saw and felt, this is the lifestyle of enjoyment of the whites. Before we know it, gradually we now put aside the lifestyle of our parents, our forefathers. We put aside their lifestyle, which was actually better for us, and imbibes that culture we thought, in quotes, was what we were aspiring as. We want to be like the whites. And whether we like it or not, there's still this thing whereby Blacks still look at and say, whatever the white is doing seemingly may look right. Even when sometimes what we are doing may be right, you now drop aside our own culture and our own beliefs and try to imbibe their lifestyle. And that's the same thing we did when it came to our diets and how we had to do with our food and what we eat.
Okay.
So
all right, Ma, let me ask. Okay, so now you've helped us to understand that the modern day dieting and the lifestyle part, that the modern day diet is just our mentality. We're just thinking maybe somewhat down of ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So now another question is this. So how does modernization affected our eating habits and lifestyle?
Okay.
Like for instance, I'm asking so that others too, they will understand. For instance, before now, people may want to trek. Maybe they want to get something just across. They will just say, okay, let me run down. But now, even an average 20-year-old person doesn't want to trek. I'm so tired, I will sweat. I don't want to sweat.
Yeah.
So everybody wants, let me get a cap. I want to know, how has this modern day lifestyle affected us?
Okay.
The diet and our lifestyle, how has it affected us?
So for me, the way I see how, will I say, both our diet and our lifestyle has been affected by, will I say, the attributes of what is happening now in our modern society, will be like, one, we are living in a fast-paced society. So things are happening fast. People don't have time anymore. And there's this lack of communal living anymore. So giving an example, when I was growing up, we all the children in the compound where I lived, we all attended a particular school. And because we attended a particular school, all the parents in that compound, we took turns that today Mr. A will carry all the children to school. And no matter how small the person's car is, everybody will, squeeze in. And then Mr. B will, maybe it will be Mr. B's turn and things like that. So how did that affect our lifestyle? With that, the person that everybody doesn't need to go and do school runs every day. Everybody doesn't need to go to school runs. So you find out that because there was this communal living, I know that, okay, this person will say, I'm going to the market. Okay, you're going to the market. Help me go to the market for me. So there's this thing whereby people help each other then. This mindset of even being afraid, being suspicious, the fast pace wasn't there. So there's some lifestyle we lived then that we cannot live now. Because one, you have more time, because if I want to do something and say, okay, I want to trek somewhere, I'll have more time because I know that, okay, even if it takes me 30 minutes to trek to and fro, my child, I'm not the one doing school runs. Someone is doing school runs for me. Maybe this woman is the one going to the market for me, the way they were living. So there was more like time. So even when our mothers were going to the market, they were not in a hurry. When they get to the market, they will stay there, they make friends, they will discuss, they will come back. But right now, that same person, maybe you need to go for school runs, you need to go to the market, so you find out we are in a fast-paced environment. So minus even society in quotes, minus maybe society saying, why are you trekking? The fact that there's no time. Sometimes you would have made up your mind that I want to trek, but you have so many things to do. And you find out that because there are so many things to do, you just don't have any option but to take transport. And then again, the introduction of easier means of movement, tricycle, keke, that's another lifestyle introduction that affected us. I remember growing up, everywhere you were going to, if you are not driving by yourself or your parents don't have a car, the car you use will drop you at the nearest bus stop. No vehicle used to drop you in front of your house. But so it was just routine that everybody must trek. That's the average population would trek. That's why if you notice then, the effect was that we hardly had a lot of chronic illness we have now. There are illnesses that are tied to lifestyle and diets. Things like diabetes, things like hypertension, things like heart failure, even the rate of things like stroke, life expectancy. Life expectancy has dropped. You find out that our parents lived longer, our grandparents lived longer because, one, the lifestyle of that communal living, being able to trek, if they're going to the farm, if you are farming, it's an exercise. You are exercising. So no matter the kind of diet they eat, they still were healthy and they still lived longer. Take, for example, in this environment, Africa, our meal is predominantly carbohydrate. That's our meal. Now, that was okay for us then. Why? Because most of our parents, one, if they were not farmers and they were not fishermen, even if they were working in the city, how many persons had, as I said, cars? So because they didn't have cars, no matter the amount of eba they will load now, by the time maybe they're going to work, they'll trek to the bus stop before they join a vehicle. You notice that they will be able to burn off that carbohydrate. So that traditional diet, whatever diet we're eating then, it was suitable for our lifestyle as of then. But right now, if you find out what we see around us, we hardly have time. As I said, that's where the lifestyle has affected us. The pace of our environment is now fast. Then there's no more that communal living whereby things that have made you maybe assist you to slow down your pace. Well, I said things like people helping each other, so you have more time to yourself. It's not there again. Currently now, 2 children may be going to the same school with their neighbors, but both mothers will carry, or their parents will carry each child to school. So you find out that trust and that communal living is not there. So I think basically our diet and our lifestyle and what is happening right now has affected us. And in the area it has affected us mostly is in our health. Because currently in Nigeria, we are seeing a lot of diseases that used to be the disease of the Western world. You hardly saw cancers then. But now, young people are getting cancer. As in cancer is like, you see people as young as 20s, 25, 30s with cancer. As for diabetes and hypertension, that one, there's hardly a family now in this Nigeria that you ask that, if within your family members, if you ask, do a poll and say, do you have one person that is either diabetic or hypertension, that will not click that one family? There must be one family in Nigeria that each of our families, there must be one person that will say the person has either diabetes and hypertension. So that's how this diet and our lifestyle has affected us, basically our health. Thank you.
Okay, so basically now many people depend on these fast ways of losing weight or staying healthy, like detox teas, slimming teas. Is it really helping us, or is it doing us more harm than good? Because most times, even if you check on social media, there's this tea, I will drop from size 12 to size 8, and then there's this tea that worked, or there's this herb, one thing or the other that works. Is it really helping or doing us more bad?
Let me be honest. I also fell victim of those fad diets. I'm sure, Mr. John has always been slim, so I'm sure he wasn't. But thank God for knowledge. Thank God for knowledge. With knowledge, most you get to know things that you never knew before. And the fact is that those fad diets are not good for our health because it affects our kidneys. Because most of those concoction that they mix and call it drop 5 kgs in 10 days. What they do, if you've taken them before, if you have taken any of them, you find out that those, they are magic teas. They make you have diarrhea. You find out that once you take them, you go to the toilets frequently. And sometimes that change in scale is not actually weight, or it's the water that you've lost in the space of how many days or how many weeks you take it. And these things affect our kidneys. And you can still see it in the way whereby people are getting kidney failures too. So there's no shortcut when it comes to a healthy lifestyle. We just have to do the right thing.
Okay. So, Ma, you said something about, okay, she mentioned people taking slim tea and all this and all that. Right now, people even wear wristwatch to check their heartbeat, their footsteps. I think one day I was just going through something. I don't know if it's a lie. I saw that there is a chip or whatever thing that they are making you wear. It will detect disease in your body before it comes or something. So now, how does socioeconomic status affect the poor that will not be getting, because the world is fast-paced. We believe the world to be fast-paced, and that is what it is. The poor, in quotes, there, how will they survive? If we want to say, okay, I think I should ask this question before I ask this one. Should we really accept this trend of modernization in terms of our health? Because we are now trying to prioritize our health. So they are bringing this wristwatch. And these things, basically, they work with waves, that we can see with our eyes. are these things helping us or they are killing us? Should we really jump into the bus of this modernization and accept everything they throw at us? Oh, this will help you stay fit. This one will help if you wear it in your leg, you'll be walking faster. Can we really?
So for me, I think that there has to be a balance. That's when I say balance, I mean balance because most times these things that they throw at us, in quotes, we take it without our doctor's prescription or without medical advice.
Okay.
So that's why I said there has to be a balance, because the first question you ask is who is prescribing that part or recommending that particular item that we say is going to help our health. That's the key, because most times those people that are recommending those things are not medical personnel. So those things they are recommending actually not even true. They're not appropriate for whatever is being used for. So they say they bring this, this gimmick of if you use this or to do this, to do that, and because of that we just jump. That's the problem with the elite sometimes, because you have the resources, you just buy. But who is, as I said, there has to be who is recommending. So if there is a balance and whatever is being recommended is being recommended by your health advisor, a health personnel, then you can be able to sift through the fake and the original. So at that point, you'll be able to know this particular device they are giving me, is it something that will help me? Because there are smart watches that we have that is just like a normal watch that can be able to check it measures your pulse. So you can check your pulse rate, it checks your heartbeat. And at those particular ones now, you know that it's okay, because when you're measuring your pulse, but it's not for everybody. For a doctor to recommend you having a smartwatch that is recommending your pulse, you surely have to have issues with pulse rate. Maybe someone that has a heart problem and they want you to be aware of what your pulse, and they must have given you an advice. The doctor will give you an advice that, okay, at certain pulse, you need to seek medical attention fast. You understand? So that's why I said that the balance, that's where the balance comes in. We shouldn't just go and pick everything they throw at us. There's this Ogogo waiting cleanser that we used to hear that time. It cleans well, it clean well, they do this one. That's how it is. Now they've remodernized, they've repackaged themselves. Then they used to come with this kind of old Peugeot and, pack their things. And once you see them, you will know them. But we see how people falling victim. But currently, such people have rebranded. With the invention of internet, they rebranded. That same person will come with those kind of technologies that have upgraded. I tell you that once you just touch it, to tell you your cholesterol level, your everything from your head. And those things are not true, because whether we like it or not, there are some parameters that can only be analyzed if samples are collected. So someone telling you that if you wear a wristwatch or you do this to tell you from your head to your toe, it's false. So if you're able to achieve that balance of having the right medical personnel, having someone to guide you, if you have someone to guide you, they'll be able to recommend what is appropriate. And bringing in the issue of the poor, because you're saying that's not necessarily poor, but people that can't afford that medical advice and guidance. The truth is that everybody, to an extent, can be able to reach out to a medical personnel, but it's because of it's not being our culture. What I'm saying is not being our culture. Currently, we have a lot of health insurance schemes that make healthcare affordable. Some of them you pay as small as 1,000 naira or maybe 1,200. This NHIA, or whatever, this government
NHIS.
one, NHIS, I think some of them are very affordable. Someone you say cannot afford, in quotes, if you ask them to calculate their level of their expenditure in a month, there is no way they will not tell you that they bought something that they would have stepped aside, that they put in place of their health. So if we value our health, we'll be able to pick such packages. But because of what I feel the problem is information. Most of the people, the grassroots that need this information are not aware that there is this accessibility to health if they can register with this. And if you can register with such, there are certain hospitals that are under their care, which at least that basic primary care, you can be able to get it. And you find out that such processes are cheaper because than when you now take ill and you need to see a medical personnel. So I think one of the major problems of it seemingly looking as if the less privileged may not have access to the information. So how would they cope in this present dispensation when it has to do with the diet and lifestyle and how to take care of themselves? It's just that they don't have access to information. And even when they have those information, we don't really accept things so well. There's this, will I say, trust of the system or things like that. So that's just it.
Okay. So with our busy schedules as working class, people go out every day, even those hustling, how can we balance this healthy lifestyle, like eating healthy, affording the healthy things, and also regularly exercising? It's very difficult to balance both of them with busy schedules.
Yes. But do you know the funniest thing? When it comes to lifestyle, healthy lifestyle, if we are able to change our mindset, it's actually the easiest thing to do. I told people I think towards the end of last year, I had an accident. So I was confined to bed rest for about 3-4 months. And because of that, I told myself that, if I don't watch myself, by the time I get up from this I would have added so much weight. And I just told myself, what do I need to do? Most of the things I needed to do, I was like, okay, I need to remove what is not healthy for me. And by the time I eliminated it, by the time I was seeing my doctor, my first appointment, I had even lost 5 kg. In short, in space of like 2 months, I lost 10 kgs. Wow. I lost weight on bed rest, as I was confined to a bed, but I lost weight. People were like, how did you achieve it? I said, it's just, as you said, the acceptance of what is yours is good, and putting away the lifestyle that is not good, which is the foreign lifestyle. So for me, the right diet or a healthy lifestyle is, if it's accessible, if you can incorporate it into your everyday life. So how can you do that? And it will actually be beneficial to everybody. It doesn't matter your social status. And what do I do? For me, I just adjusted my food. That's the first thing. The first is to adjust your food, what you are eating, because basically when we talk about our health and to live a healthy life, it is what we eat that will predispose us to all these chronic diseases like diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular diseases, and the rest. Is what we take in. So I had to control what I ate, and I just stuck to the natural food. And what is it? The normal vegetables we have. If I'm eating my I ate my gari, rice, beans, the normal everyday meal, which we call the traditional meal. I just stuck to it and just said, you see this, all this. I think from November till now, I've not drank a bottle of Coke. From November till now, I've not taken sugar. From November, so it's a part of me. To an extent that I can even go out with you and you say, give me ice cream or give me this. I'll tell you thank you. I'll prefer water. So it's that mindset that this is not enjoyment, is harming my life. And if you do that, I feel everybody can afford it. Everybody can afford gari and soup. Everybody can afford okra soup. So for me, because of my lifestyle, I'm not able to exercise so much. I'm busy. What did I do? I just ensured that my meal has a lot of vegetables, fiber. Because in the initial stage, one of the questions you asked, I told you that our parents, our grandfathers, that they ate a lot of carbohydrate meals, but they did a lot of farming. So they were able to burn off whatever calorie they ate. So knowing that my lifestyle, I don't have enough time to exercise, enough time to do what I need to do in terms of working out, I asked myself, how can I introduce it to my everyday lifestyle so it becomes normal? So as much as possible, when it comes to my meal, I eat clean. And eating clean is like, I eat the normal traditional rice, yam, gari. I don't do all those mende. And I don't even do fast food. I don't think from that time till now, have I taken fast food? If I've taken fast food, that means maybe I went for a meeting and they served us that, I think 1 or 2 meetings I went for, takeaway pack. And because I'm conscious of it, even when you serve me a takeaway pack, I don't even eat it. They don't like eat. I'll say, no, I'll take it home and take it as my meal. So I know that that's my meal for the day. And because for if you are too strict about certain things, it will become it will be difficult to sustain. So it's kind of like when I was making it my lifestyle. So for me, as much as possible, I try to eat healthy. So, but the difference is that because I know I can't do so much exercise, I reduce my carbohydrate portion. So if I'm taking bread, I just take 2 slices of bread. I'll take it with maybe I'll make sure I have vegetables by the side. Cabbage and carrot are my best friends. For me, if I'm doing salad, I do more of okra, vegetables. That's for me because I know that I don't have enough time to exercise so much. But exercise is still important because no matter how you introduce the diet, if you don't introduce exercise, you don't have that physical activity. It's going to still affect your heart. Because there's example when we talk about cholesterol, we have the good cholesterol and the bad cholesterol. Now, when it comes to the bad good cholesterol, you need exercise to convert your cholesterol to good cholesterol. So that's the HDL. So even if you take a lot of good unsaturated fat, all this avocado, pear, and the rest, even if you take it in excess, if you don't exercise, the body will not, that mechanism to convert it to good cholesterol will not be stimulated. So what do? I look at my everyday life. So how can I track? So places like in my office, sometimes instead of sending someone, he has worked with me before. He knows that I don't like sending people. I had to say, go and bring this for me. I prefer taking a walk. So it's now like my lifestyle. If I'm going to markets in Slaughter, I will trek from my house because I want to have that opportunity to trek so that I know that I can exercise. So I'll just leave early and trek so that I don't need to drive all the time. So it's more like introducing it into your everyday life. Let it not be like in quotes, I'm dieting, I'm exercising. So if we're able to do that, I think everybody, no matter your social or economic status, you can be able to do it.
Okay, Ma. So I have a question because when you were talking, you mentioned something. I actually said I will ask, but you mentioned it. So let me ask before I forget. You mentioned all these people that say, take this, it will wash your heart, it will wash this. Is there actually a place for herbal medicine in the health space? In quote, herbal medicine.
Actually, herbal medicine is not totally bad. But the issue we have with herbal medications is when we don't know their dosage and concentration. So we are worried about kidney failure and liver damage. But if you're healthy and you introduce these things into your lifestyle, like example, for me, this period that I was having, I told you I had common cold.
Yeah.
I just did I wanted something warm. I just put cinnamon stick and clove and warmed it and just drank it. And funny enough, it was the best expectorant I could take. It helped me decongest my chest. So things like that. So at that point, you are mixing something that is food. Cinnamon is a spice we use to cook. Clove, we use it with all those people that do bake cakes and the rest, they are spices. So it's the ability to balance it, not the one that you now say, this is what all the mixtures, you mix it in alcohol. So for me, it has to do with what are you taking? Whatever you want to take, if you are taking in terms of natural medicine, I won't call them natural medicine. For me, I feel that they are natural food. So I'm not a party of going to take herbal medicines whereby someone will get herbs for you that you don't know what it is to solve a problem. But for me, if this is a food and someone tells me this particular food group has a particular maybe antioxidant or particular property that will benefit someone, you can introduce it into your diet. So it now becomes as if it's something you're eating. So you're not taking it in excess. It's like you don't want to say you're taking it's just like you're drinking tea. You don't take excess. You're drinking. So for me, it's how we're able to moderate. But I'm not a party of all those ones that will label and say it takes care of hypertension, diabetes. But your natural things, okay, you have cough, your ginger, you could chew your ginger, you could mix in your garlic. So those are natural food. You are seeing them, you know what you are taking, not the one that they've mixed something. You don't know what they mix. Sometimes they mix other things and they seal them and repackage them and they call them herbal drugs. No. But if it's something that you're seeing, like, okay, example, ugu leaf, people say it helps for iron, and someone has anemia and you want to just get that ugu leaf for that period, things like that. For me, I'm not against such.
Okay.
So that's it.
So I know that I've heard that sleep plays a long part in the whole dieting and keeping healthy. So do you also think that that's true? Like you sleep, rest, and plays a long role?
When I say sleep could be after what you take in. Sleep is the next most important factor. But because when it comes to your health in total, health has to not. When we talk about health, for me, health is not all about your size in terms of weight, because you could see someone that's in quotes. They say, this person is big, this person is slim, and you feel that the slimmer person is healthy. But that doesn't necessarily mean that person is healthy, because we see it as a laboratory scientist. I've had people that with the eyesight of, this person is very slim, the cholesterol level will be very okay. By the time you go, you see the cholesterol levels are over the roof. But you do maybe a health check for someone that is, with our own basic knowledge, like this person looks overweight, and person laboratory results will show that this person has so many conditions. And that person will come and when you check, that person is fit. So for me, when it comes to healthy lifestyle, diet, lifestyle, and everything, is beyond size. It has to do with your wellness, your well-being, how you are. And because it has to do with your total well-being, sleep is very, very important, because one, your sleep rhythm affects your hormones. So there's what we call your cortisol. There's a time your cortisol is meant to rise. There's a time your cortisol is meant to come down. And it is regulated based on the 24-hour timings. So it's a cyclic calendar, cyclic hormone. So when you don't sleep when you're meant to sleep, the time the hormone is meant to be coming down, it will be going up. And at the end, this hormone affects your metabolism. So you find out that you find out that someone that on a normal day should be okay, the person is having issues just because the person doesn't have a good sleep. And once you don't sleep well, you are stressed during the day. And stress too also affects your hormones. It makes you more anxious. It makes, for females, it's even worse, because there are so many other medical conditions, things like PCOS and the rest, that can even arise as a result of lack of sleep that will now trigger stress. Even depression, mental health, and things that just become lack of sleep. So when it comes to our diet and our lifestyle, sleep plays a very important role.
All right, Ma, let me ask, with the way the world is going, are people more aware of their health, or they are just overwhelmed by health information?
I think we are. It's two things. I think the two things are competing with each other. People are not aware, and because they are aware, they are overwhelmed.
Okay.
Yes, because I think it should be 2 days ago. I had someone chatting me from Malaysia, and he was talking because he was so confused, and he was like, the more he Googles, the more he feels that his symptoms means that he has, in short, where his mind has landed. I knew that it was beyond where we were. But, after we had that session together, I talked to him. I told him, don't be thinking of, that. So I feel that because of the awareness now, people are now overwhelmed. I'm sure if I ask you, you may even concur that sometimes too much knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay, so should we now say, okay, let's not tell the people about their situation. Let's look for another means to, okay, so I'll be giving you this drug. So I'll be taking it. What is wrong with me? You don't need to know.
No, I don't think that's better enough for them not to know.
Because I also feel some people even die by knowing what they are passing through.
Fear.
Yeah. They have this fear. Oh, this thing killed my mom. My mom died at so age. Now they're telling me I'm having this thing. It means I will die tomorrow. And they will start thinking before you know. Maybe they do not even have BP. The people will now come and take them away.
I think what we need right now is still I think the onus lies on the medical community for us to continue passing this information that there is a right channel for every information people get. So by the time you are overwhelmed with information, you should be able to have people that you can reach out to that will be able to, demystify this overwhelming information. Okay. Like I said, that young man, I think he got to know about me from my TikTok page. Okay. So when he was, I think he was confused. He just had to reach out to me. He told me, madam, please, I'm sending you all my results. Because even his investigations, he had done so many investigations. And because I think he's a Nigerian in Malaysia, he could not even read some of the things. And maybe there's communication gap between him and the medical personnel. So I think he was actually overwhelmed. So when he sent it to me, I was able to look at it and said, from the investigations, what is wrong is not even as big as what you think. So I think it's the ability for medical personnel to step out of our comfort zone. Because we are still used to patients coming to meet us in the clinic, coming to meet us. We just have few medical personnel that are in the social space that people actually know. It's even recently I just came into social space, when I realized this gap. But there are very few people and the people are there for now. They've achieved influencer status in quotes. So people don't even have the opportunity to meet them anymore in their DMs, in their messengers, so people don't have the opportunity. So people just digest what they can digest, and God will help us. But I think gradually this generation, thank God for the Gen Zs and Gen X, because these Gen Zs, this generation, the awareness that we now have digital medicine. Now the doctors consult online. Yeah. So I think people are now getting opportunity to get access to such care, because the truth is that people that get overwhelmed are the ones that have access to internet and information. They are not even the people that are just moving on the street. It's people that have access to information. Mr. Google will tell you say I have a knee pain. Mr. Google will tell you that knee pain is cancer.
I've had an experience. So there was a time that I had one serious stomach pain, and then I don't even know who sent me to check Google. I didn't. At that time was the first time I was experiencing ovulation pain, so I didn't know what it was. So I checked, and they were showing a lot of things that when you experience it, you might not get pregnant in future. I almost killed it. I was so scared. I was like, I'm going to go and run a scan right now in the hospital. Until I spoke to a medical person about it. And then he calmly explained everything to me. He's a family friend. When he was done, he started laughing at me. So this is how I felt about it.
Yeah. Google. Okay, so to our doctors out there, and I think people be health specialists, people really need to help us and school most persons that are coming to you. You really need to school us and tell us, no matter what the situation is, try to talk the person out of overthinking it. Yeah. And then, when we were talking, you mentioned life expectancy before we round up. Let me just ask, the theory of life expectancy that what we have now is higher. We have higher chance of living compared to our forefathers, that we normal people will say, now we die like chicken. Our forefathers, they live strong. But they said it's not true.
It's actually, I think our forefathers lived actually longer than us. So we are the ones that our life expectancy has cut short. So I think now it should be less than, is it 50 or is it 45 of recent? But I think it should be about 50. I'm not very sure of the statistics, but life expectancy in Nigeria, now with what is happening, I'm sure it may even be less than what is there by the beach.
Wow.
But the life expectancy for us now is worse than what it was for our parents. Not really necessarily our parents' time, but our grandparents. Most of them lived to see their great-grandchildren. And they were strong.
True.
They were strong, they were active. So it's actually the reverse. Life expectancy now is short. And I'm sure it's getting shorter
By the day.
by the day.
One more question before we go. Do you agree with this statement? More tech guarantees more health. More tech will give more health facility or whatever. I think that's better health guarantees better health.
It doesn't. More tech doesn't guarantee better health. More tech only guaranteed us more information, more access to comfort, in quotes, more access to making the world smaller. The world is now a global village. But it didn't guarantee more health, because remember then, when we used to watch television, NTA used to come on at 6 p.m. in the evening.
Yeah.
Children used to go out to play. So once you come out from school, after you do your homework, you go out and play, exercise. We didn't see childhood obesity. Children were no matter what children ate, they were not like telling your child to diet, because once the child comes out from school, your child will play. But now, because of tech in quotes, when they come out from school, their phone, TV, because TV is now 24 hours. There's a show to watch. If there's no show, they will collect their parents' phone. So you find out that. So now you're seeing young kids having, let's say, health conditions that were not found in kids before, especially in this area, in Africa, in Nigeria. So that statement that more tech guarantees health is a misnomer. For me, more tech, it just made the world smaller. It exposed us, but it didn't necessarily. It came with its own advantages, but there are still disadvantages. And one of the disadvantages, whether we like it or not, is in the place of our health, and especially for, as I said, for the younger ones, younger generation.
Then there's this other thing that exercise in terms of the gym people. Is it really helping us, or it is just overhyped? Because if you are talking to some I think those gym people, they feel like they are more healthier. That you're not gymming. And sometimes when I tell people I play football, they're like, you know if you fall sick now. Does exercise really helps us, or we are just overhyping the whole thing?
Exercise actually helps a lot. I gave you an example that if you are taking maybe cholesterol, good cholesterol, like things like avocado pear, even these are ube, these are good cholesterol, and they help protect your heart. That for your body to convert that cholesterol to the one that will benefit your heart. No matter how you eat, what you are taking is good cholesterol. You need that physical activity for it to stimulate that mechanism that will cause that production of HDL. So whether we like it or not, exercise helps. But what we'll look at is, are those going to some of these gym folk, are they actually exercising in the gym? Because sometimes it's just, we ladies, you just you just set your camera, do video. It just for, now we have entered content. Everything is content. They go after shooting their content. They will go. There was once I joined the particular gym. In that gym, by the time we are finishing, they are selling certain things for us there, because they feel that in quote, people that can afford to pay for gym have money. So the things they are bringing are things that are not even healthy. So it's not like maybe after exercise they're bringing you maybe smoothies, juices, fruit salad. Maybe after the gym now they are bringing like maybe one kind of equal bill, because the person wants to sell.
Yeah.
And after that thing, people will sit down and eat things that's why you find out that even with the gym, those that say those that are, there's some people that join the gym just to keep fit. They're not necessarily after losing weight. But those that want to lose weight in the gym, some of them, even in the midst of that gym, nothing is happening because the problem is starting from what they sell to them after they finish gymming. But on a normal day, if some persons do better when they work with people. So some persons need motivation. So that's why they join the gym, they join groups. So when they are with people, it makes it easy to exercise. But there are some persons that don't need that motivation. And then even minus the group, some persons, their money motivates them. So if they spend money to register in the gym, they will have to go because that money I paid cannot waste. So these are various reasons. So if the reason is genuine and you go there, you basically exercise, and it's not just for, in quotes, for the gram as in social media, it actually helps. But people like you that play football, you are fortunate because you love football. Exercise is a way of life. It is, and truly you will not really fall sick like that because as you are exercising, no matter what you take in, you are burning it off. You are sweating, you are releasing toxins. So it's actually good. It's for us to find what we like in the form. Those that like dancing, dance. Those that like, if we find what we like and make that routine a part of our lifestyle, it's always easier.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so viewers, you guys have heard. In fact, when I don't hear all the better information now, we don't carry give now. So what you guys have to do is just to follow. In fact, before we go, do you have any advice or any people you may want to talk to? You have been looking for opportunity to say, if I see any means, I will tell so person say, so team, when I know they do them again. So team, when I know they do them again. Any word of advice, maybe for people that are obese and they are still eating shawarma?
No. For me, I just believe in moderation. Moderation. If you can live a life of moderation, you'll be able to live a healthy lifestyle. So when I mean moderation, whatever you eat, so you can eat anything, because most times when we restrict, as I said, my lifestyle is I eat the everyday meal. So whatever you eat, whatever you drink, if you're able to introduce moderation, take it in moderation, you'll be able to live a healthy lifestyle. And ensuring that we introduce things like exercise. And as I said, make exercise a way of life. This thing of trying to say, I want to join the gym. Yes, if it works for you, it works. But if you can introduce ways in which it becomes a way of life. So things like trekking. I know it's not easy, but we try to trek. You could see on Saturday, if I'm going to the market, I leave early, and you stroll if you have a market close to you. Or, even play with your children. Even as simple as going to pick the remotes. Mothers, you tell your this thing, Emeka, where are you? From maybe the remote is in front of you. You look for someone at the door to come and pick it for you. So if you're able to introduce these little things into your lifestyle, it makes it easier to keep fit.
All right, viewers, a round of applause for Dr. Mrs. Thompson. She has done noble. She has explained a lot of things to us, right? Okay, thank you very much, Ma, for coming.
Thank you, Ma. We're really blessed. I've learned a lot today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Phoebe. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, viewers, I am your host, John Okoyo. Don't forget, I told you guys when I'm here, it's about social life. This is the most informative, educative, and not less entertaining podcast. Let's talk. So you like, follow, share. Heavily sponsored by Pixel Palace. So you follow us on all our social media platforms at Pixel Palace Official. Thank you very much. See you some other time.